Hey everyone, on today's video, we're going to go through all the multifamily sales comps between 5 and 150 units here in Orange County that took place in the third quarter. So that's July, August, and September of 2024. We broke up the comps from coastal Orange County and inland Orange County. We'll go through the average price per foot, the average dollar amounts, the average price per units to give you good insight if you're an owner and kind of want a barometer view on what your building's kind of compared to what's sold in the area. And then also if you're a buyer, kind of what to expect, what you're gonna pay on a price per unit basis and what's selling. So we're gonna break all that down. And again, we have this complete report. So if you want the report, send me an email. I'll include the email to you, the report in the email back, and you can get through and go through every sales stat line by line. So diving in, we're gonna go into coastal Orange County first. There were a total of 14 transactions up and down the coast. That's anywhere from Seal Beach all the way down to San Clemente. And of those 14 transactions, the average price per unit was $469,000 per unit and $611 per foot. Now there were two sales that were over $1,000 a foot each. That was one in Laguna Beach that our team sold, and also a renovated single-story detached cottages in Costa Mesa that hit a very high watermark sale when a 1031 exchange buyer acquired the asset. Still a good piece of real estate, but they paid a good price for it, so it was a great comp in the market. So when we go through and we look at the coastal market, that's really where there's been so much demand. So many buyers are coming in, they're not as sensitive to cap rates, they're acquiring real estate. Costa Mesa, we saw a number of transactions. Our team sold 560 Hamilton in Costa Mesa, 15 units that closed for $5,625,000. We helped an investor sell that asset who's moving their equity out of state. We also helped a buyer acquire that piece of real estate. That was the second building that our team sold him this year. And he's looking for good real estate along the coast that's renovated and getting a big tax benefit from acquiring these assets. Also, we sold a portfolio of Huntington Beach assets in Q2, and there was one that closed in Q3. That was a great asset. That was a 1031 exchange buyer that was moving equity out of LA County and wanted to get money here in Orange County. Then we also had really a notable sale was 2607 Solana Way. We've shot multiple videos on this property. This is 12 units in Laguna Beach that sold for $7,375,000, closed on the last day of the quarter, September 30th, 2024. This sold for $614,000 per unit and $751 a foot. There's views out of every unit within this property, an exceptional piece of real estate. There goes on and on, multiple other transactions. We were very dominant along the coast, helping owners that have said, you know what, it's my time to exit. I'm either gonna exchange, I'm cashing out. There was a number of differences on what people were ultimately doing, but there was a lot of people that said, you know what, timing's good. So we saw an uptick on the coast overall this year. So that's been really kind of keeping things moving along the marketplace. Now moving on to the inland market, your inland market, and what we really did when I kind of was looking through all the comps, we carved out Santa Ana, because Santa Ana has stricter rent control than any other market within Orange County, and it's really affecting the price per units and the price per foot. So I carved that out. So this is inland Orange County, every city that's non-coastal and not Santa Ana. So there was a total of 23 sales that took place for $75,996,000, almost $76 million worth of transactions that took place. The average price per unit was $346,000 per unit and $405 a square foot. Anaheim led the sales stats as expected. There's a lot of buildings in Anaheim. There was a total of 9 sales just within Anaheim. So out of those 23 transactions, 9 of them were in Anaheim. So if you're a buyer, always pay attention to Anaheim. That's where a lot of people got their start. That's where you can get a little bit better yield, and you're not in that tougher market, the rent control market of Santa Ana. Our team also transacted a number of properties up and down in non-coastal Orange County. So one of the ones we wanted to highlight was 314 East Pearson Avenue. This property was in Anaheim, 20 units. We closed it for $5,800,000. We were able to procure an exchange buyer that was coming into the market, acquired the asset. We had multiple offers on the property. and we selected that exchange buyer for higher surety at close, and that seller of that property, we exchanged them into a 33-unit building in Anaheim. They just closed in Q4. We're really excited about that. We're going to be airing that success story for that owner, how they traded up into more units, they got more after-tax cash flow, and they got a better asset in a better area. So that was a no-brainer, great win-win, and it was a lot of fun putting that transaction together. There's also been a number of other transactions that have taken place, but one thing to mention, the largest transaction that took place within the marketplace was 22 units. This is, again, 5 to 150 units in Orange County. There was a 22-unit building that sold for $8,200,000 in Garden Grove on Flower Street. That was built in the 80s. Great property, $372,000 a unit. This was really one of the nicest properties that has sold in that area, and there was a number of buyer tours, there was a number of offers, and ultimately that was the largest transaction that took place. That just goes to show you that $10+ million transaction market will wake up again. I think it's a lot of investors that are looking to acquire assets in that size range. It's either sellers aren't willing to adjust to the pricing they need to today in order to transact, or just there's just not the inventory, really what it comes down to. Some sellers, they're out there, but they're just not willing to drop the price in order to make it work today for a buyer. So rates, as we're filming this today, you're hovering around 6%, 5.75. Once hopefully rates get down to about 5%, I think that market's going to pick back up and come on strong. But right now, it's your $2 to $6 million transactions that are really making the market. And then let's move on to, last but not least, Santa Ana. Santa Ana actually had 6 transactions. There's more of an uptick within that market right now because comps are starting to hit, and now we're able to start to see some momentum within the marketplace. It was really slow and very little comps were taking place. So we saw 6 transactions that closed in Q3 for $10,240,000, which is just over $205,000 a unit and $338 a square foot. So we sold one of those properties for an owner that actually exchanged out of a 6-unit building on Chestnut Street that he owned for over 20 years in Santa Ana. We sold it for $1,250,000. That owner was able to exchange into a partnership group property that took place in Garden Grove, and they went into a TIC. He got out of doing all the direct management and was able to go in with a partner that he's known for years, and they now are in that asset. So he went from Santa Ana to a great Orange County asset that he's going to hold long term, and it was a great decision for him, and I'm glad the timing worked out and we could help him get there. There's been a number of other transactions within the marketplace in Santa Ana. Again, the market's picking back up. So you're seeing folks that are at least saying, you know what, now there's transactions, I can at least get a good variable of what my buildings are worth. And they do need to be priced right in order to get traction, especially in Santa Ana. But there are a lot of owners that are just saying, you know what, I might want to kind of downgrade the number of units. I want to do a 1031 exchange. I want to go along the coast. I want to maybe pay cash for a smaller property, but I don't want the heavy lift or deal with the burden of Santa Ana. I'll let a new buyer kind of come in and acquire my property, and I want to go do a 1031 exchange somewhere else. So again, that's what's fueling the coast and picking up buyers that are really looking to still be in apartments, but just kind of get out of the regulation. So overall, that's the update on the quarterly comps. We enjoy doing this. We enjoy helping owners. We had a 25% market share as a team, helping owners that close transactions within the market of Orange County, and we look forward to helping others in the future. So if you're in the market, you're thinking about acquiring a property, or you're just curious on what's selling, we know every comp, we've been by every building, we can talk about it and help you make decisions so you can make the best decisions with your real estate. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.